My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got a bunch of geezers watching me.
I said, I wish I could have that so I make it. I mean, how do you know what that is? I said, I wish I could have that so I make it. I mean, how do you know what that is? No.
I can't even get erect.
Confidence trickster, noun British, a person who tricks other people in order to get their money. Con artist. Confidence trickster, noun British, a person who tricks other people in order to get their money. Con artist. Confidence trickster, noun British, a person who tricks other people in order to get their money. Con artist. Flim-flam, noun a trick or deception, especially a swindle or confidence game involving skillful persuasion or clever manipulation of the victim. A piece of nonsense. Twaddle. Bush.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.
Muted. Yeah, I'm gonna kill the music. Oh gosh. Hi. Happy Thursday. Nice to see everybody. Sorry I've been so MIA for so long. We had a lot going on over here. Least of all, a letter from Sarasota Tim. So really tonight, what we're probably going to be looking at for the majority of the evening is the letter. Guys, I think Tim got like one of his non-alcoholic beers and chased it down with an Ambien when he got this thing together. I did put out a poll, and if you haven't had a chance, guys, coming on in, make sure that you do hit those likes, subscribe, all the good stuff. Usually you have to subscribe to join the chat. And so yeah, and I want to thank everybody. Oh shoot, no, I took out my light. Hold on. No, what happened? We got all sorts of technical difficulties. Oh no! Shoot! Starting the night with technical difficulties already. Oh Lord! Sorry about that, guys. It's been just chaos around here. If you're not familiar with me, my name's Ray. the letter is as wild as my hair. Okay, so I got in the mail, for those of you who are not familiar with this story, Sarasota Tim had decided that he did not like the fact that obviously I am a commentary channel. I make videos not only about Tim, I've made them about Foodie Beauty, I've made them about people at MLMs. So Tim is not somebody that I have necessarily always made content on. But I started to make content around Sarasota Tim because he's has some really dangerous health information. Obviously, I'm somebody who works in healthcare, and so it was something that I've always sort of focused on. But as time went on, obviously, I discovered about his government fraud, and he does have government fraud, and he tries to address it in here. So we're actually going to go through Tim's letter. Don't think we're going to maybe we'll look at the video of him doing some push-ups, but probably not going to really do reacts. Dingo did a great summary of what was going on with Tim. Hey, Sammy. Thank you. I'm going to make sure. Let me try to get this on here. I see I got a super. Thank you, Sammy. I'm trying to show it up here. Thank you for the fund. Yeah, for the legal fund. Absolutely. Because I've still got a lot of stuff to do. And once I get a chance to do a members only, I will update some of the things that obviously I'll make sure to have in place. And I wanted to thank Grandma's Pocketbook for being very kind about me going pro se, because Tim is obviously going potentially pro se too, and doesn't really understand the law. This letter is wild, guys. I can't even. But let me get over to this poll so you know what poll we have going on. Oh, my gosh. So who helped Tim write the motion to dismiss letter? It was, I'm going to leave this nice little heart there. Thank you, Sammy. That was so sweet. We have 3 options. Tammy, she's the smart one at 16%. Grok, it's his attorney. I don't think he would ask his daughter. Maybe his daughter helped him. God, I hope not. It would be embarrassing. Maybe she was the one helping him with this paperwork. Well, she didn't do a very good job explaining to him what to do. And then last, Fred, Teddy, and all the guys, 27%. I remember thinking it's Grok. So Tim spent a little bit of money on, thank you for that, Miss Sammy. Tim spent a little bit of money on mailing this to me, certified mail. And the difference between Tim and I is the fact that I won't try to dox our addresses too much. But there we go. I want to dox us too much over here. I try to hide Tim's, but so it's certified. It came in certified. And I picked it up today because I've been at work all week. I've been pulling extra. I have to go back tomorrow for a few hours. My patient got flu. My dog, Junebug, got sick on something. So the day I found out my patient had flu was also the day that I came home and Junebug had left like presents for me on the living room floor. Luckily on the hardwood parts, but still. And she had a stomach upset, a really bad one. So we had to, do her gastric care, which she's better now. But yeah, it's been a lot. So I wonder if Tim thought this had scared me away and why I wasn't making any commentary and content around him. But no, Tim, that's not the case. Oh my gosh. Okay. So for those of you who are familiar, Sarasota Tim, and he gets very upset when I mention this, so we'll make sure we will. Because he just doesn't understand. I mean, he's committed so much perjury and so forth. It's actually interesting because he really has. He's committed a lot of different types of perjury with YouTube. Because of the fact that he has not actually followed through with the things that he's supposed to. Okay, so this is probably what started everything with Tim. And This is so funny that he thinks this letter will work. Yeah, Tammy's been witness. This is not a motion to this. It's just a letter from him. Oh, grandma's pocketbook. I mean, I'll show the letter, obviously. So he mentions the UCC filing. And if you know, once we discovered that Tim has this lien on his supposed business assets, which he's got to recertify this thing in 2026. He mentions it in the letter. So anyway, let's just show the letter, and then we'll show all the evidence around all his stuff. Let's just get to the letter, shall we? Make sure you hit the thumbs up. How did you get my address? Oh, because I've included it on my warrant in debt. I sent Tim. So I sent Tim because Tim's been harassing my YouTube channel for and not understanding actually how copyright and fair use works in the YouTube world, and about how you are entering into a legal position when you actually ask for a copyright removal. Now, a lot of people don't like to counter, because when you counter, you have to include your name and address. So he's and he's doxed me on this platform, by the way. And Miss Vicky can attest to that too. I decided that since, I don't have family, and I did want to keep my channel, and I did want to keep exposing people, because Tim is using YouTube as just a massive way for him to write off about every part of his life. There's been all sorts of new tax laws that can benefit content creators, and especially when you're buying very expensive items. And this is why we get the constant videos of him showing everything. So he can then list that as an ordinary and necessary expense to his channel. And that's why he buys the motorbikes and shows them all off. He writes it all off on the taxes under the new tax laws that came out under President Trump, under the beautiful, the whatever that bill was. I can't call it the name. That name's so, I mean, come on, please don't do that. Sounds like it's just like some hype man thought of a name. Anyway. So I ended up serving, because Tim, how he got away with this, constant perjury is beyond me, because YouTube wipes its hands. And that's what Tim doesn't understand, is that, he's talking about all these copyright strikes under DMCA. Well, that was Tim who was the one striking my channel, not me striking him. So if anybody should have been going to the DMCA and following up with legal copyright issues, it was Sarasota Tim. But he perjured himself every time he copyright struck my channel, and did not follow through with actually having legal actions against me in a court of law on copyright violations, of which he probably would not have won, because I would have come in under fair use, which is what my attorney tried to explain to him initially. And so he is not understanding that I, as a content creator, as long as I'm adding my commentary and my thoughts around his content, and a lot of people know this, then I can and will fall under fair use. Oh, he's on a trip? Well, you have a good cruise. Make sure you tip. I know you'll tip. Thank you. Have fun. We'll all be here, unfortunately. So I'll make sure I laugh a lot tonight too, especially when I read this letter. So anyway, Tim struck my channel, I want to say, and I was trying to count up, because I've been looking through all my old correspondence with my attorneys that were helping me through the copyright. And this is the important part. We're not going to small claims about a copyright issue. That's not what this case is about. The case that I'm bringing against Tim in my small claims court in Virginia is something that's known as tortious. That's tortious, tortious injury. And it's because I am a business, a monetized YouTube channel. I did make a profit, but I did not the previous year, but I did not make a profit the past year because all of my profits were ate up in attorney fees that would not be a part of my ordinary business expenses. I should not be having to hire copyright attorneys to send cease and desist and counter notifications to YouTube for somebody whose YouTube business perjured itself. Because if you don't follow through with that legal part that you sign when you send a copyright removal through YouTube system, YouTube wipes its hands. YouTube is not anything to do with your copyright. They just let you know somebody could potentially be violating your copyright. Now, if you then turn around and ask for a copyright removal, therefore leveraging a copyright strike as it's known on the platform, because you're, just uploading other people's, videos, without even recognizing it. And, it's very different that, someone stealing somebody's content and just reposting it, and somebody doing commentary on somebody who's scamming elderly people and has taken over $58,400 in EIDL that he was not eligible for. And it doesn't matter to him that you're paying on it currently. You still committed wire fraud. You did not have a business in operation at the time in 2021. Oh, I have it very clearly on video just from last year where you openly talk about taking PPP and unemployment insurance, which is called double dipping. And then you triple dipped on the EIDL. And you're trying to say I'm harassing you after you stole money from the American taxpayers? Because the only reason why you have this lien, Tim, because this is a lien, is on any EIDL that was over $25,000 and above. So this is already evidence that Tim took over $25,000, which he would not be eligible for as a sole proprietor with no employees. And especially on a business that had its doors closed for a year and a half. And I'm sure the Small Business Administration would be interested to know when you recertify the loan this year that you have none of the assets that you have claimed in this particular chattel. Tim. I'm trying to explain it. He's still paying for it. That's what he states. States it right here. And this, I've got it right here in writing. And this is, and so, yeah. Oh, yeah. Triple dipping. Yeah. Oh, and he just said last year. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. You remind me of Norma Ray. Are we talking? I'm not sure. Is that Marilyn Monroe before she became Marilyn Monroe? She was Norma Jean. Sorry. Oh, all right. Let me not get. All right. So anyway, all right. So I sent to Tim this warrant and debt. So let me shoot, because he kept striking my channel. I sent him a cease and desist. With an attorney. And so basically my small claims is to get these attorney fees returned, which literally are $4,900 plus my lost YouTube income, which approximately on the income I made last year is like $1,370 a day or something wild. It's not very much, guys, but it literally took up all my YouTube earnings. And I had obviously contributions, but pretty much my YouTube earnings were taken up with this case. And so I'm going for tortious injury as a business. And Mr. Baker, even though he lives in another state, he was knowingly harming a business that is in Virginia. And so he also has subscribers. And so really, this is the best way to recover the expenses I didn't need to. And I obviously have let the state know through an affidavit that I am serving somebody who is a non-resident, and he is a business entity because he has a monetized YouTube channel and he has to be showing those income into his IRS statements. And I'm sure he's got a Schedule C because he's writing everything off. So that would say he has a business. So he is a business entity trying to harm my business And you could say he's a national business because he's on a national YouTube platform. So I think he's going to have a tough time. Yes. And I know that I have to also come in when, and this is the stuff we'll talk about because I want to stick to the letter when we do a live stream, like all the things that I'm going to have. So when he does not show up in court, I can have an automatic default judgment in the Commonwealth. Because I've already got, I already know Tim's height. I have the affidavit from the process server, and they state Tim's height. And Tim is not as tall as he says. Oh, and he wanted to mention something about how he was served. Well, he better be. He's going to be in some real trouble. And then I wondered too, I mean, is he playing a mail shell game by having his own mail be undeliverable to a certified address? Because I had it that when I tried to deliver it to Mr. Baker, it says return to sender, not deliverable, as addressed, unable to forward. And that's an often very common trick with con artists, what's known as the mail shell game. And if he doesn't actually have a good mailing address, he could be in trouble with Social Security Administration. You have to have a good mailing address for the Social Security Administration. It either has to be a P.O. box or something, but you have to have it. And it has to be something that can go through the United States Postal Service. Otherwise, you're committing all sorts of issues. I mean, it's wild. We'll get to how tall he is. I got it on the affidavit of the process server. I have a copy of what is the affidavit of service from the county. So Tim wants to say things weren't done properly, and I will show, and everything's been redacted, the actual signed affidavit copy from the process server. So Tim can try to mention some random Virginia statute, but he's going to have a tough time. Make sure you hit the likes, guys, because that's a way to help me pay for my dog's upcoming surgery. So I don't care. One of the reasons why I grow this channel and also call out scammers is that instead of me having to spend my money completely on attorneys, which is what I pretty much had to do last year, I have a dog that needs a surgery quickly because I'm not lying. Junebo's got a rapid growing cancer cell, and I know it's going to be expensive. And so my next YouTube paycheck, I would like to use to take my dog to the vets rather than dealing with this guy and his nonsense. All right, so let's just bring up the letter. Let's just bring it up. I know you got to see it, and I'm going to apologize about the letter in some ways because it was photoed on my phone because I had to do things kind of quick. Let me see. Is this it? Oh, no, that's the second part. Hold on. Let me hope I didn't put it in the bin already. Is this it? No, that's my affidavit. Oh, no, maybe this is it. I thought I had named it. Here it is. Okay. I'm sorry if it's so small, guys. I hope I'm going to take down in a moment the comments when we get down to that part. Okay. So this is the letter that Tim sent to me and was sent certified. And he also sent a copy of this to my attorneys I use for my cease and desist. So I don't know why he's sending it to attorneys the reason why I sent the cease and desist was to show him the evidence I'm going to be taking into the courtroom and the amount of times that my attorneys, had to actually kind of, highlight certain things about fair use and about the fact that Tim also had people coordinated in attacking me and my channel and threatening me on my channel. And so, I think it's hilarious to get this from Mr. Baker and I don't even know if this is his handwriting. Okay. So it says February the 25th, 2026, Virginia. in the, then he mentions the General District Court, Small Claims Division. He obviously lists my name as the plaintiff. He mentions the case number, which you can find it there. And I'm just waiting to see when they certify that he's been served from the Commonwealth. It's the judge who's going to make the decisions about this case, Tim. Okay? I don't know what he was thinking when he got this done. So he puts his name as the defendant, and he talks about the hearing. So this is why he thinks, and he obviously didn't read the warrant in debt, which clearly tells the defendant that unless you show up in court and we have agreed on a continuation time, let me bring that up real quick. You are not going to be able just to get away with and I don't care about showing this because this is just wild. Let me see. I had the warrant. It's in this, I think. Is it here? No, maybe it's under this one. Yes. Okay. So this is the warrant that Tim was sent. And it clearly says, to defendant, you are not required to appear. However, if you fail to appear, judgment may be entered against you. Now, I have to make sure that obviously I have all my pieces in place, which I'll talk about in the members only. Because there's, certain things like I have to show that he's, I've double checked, he's not in the military. I've got to get some things notarized like that. And there's a certain place I go and search and an affidavit, and I can get my stuff notarized free with the credit union. Oh, Tim said this was notarized. There's no notary on here. It's hilarious. Anyway, and then by law, this case, must be tried on the return date above unless all parties agree upon a different date for trial. Other continuation shall be granted by the court only for good cause shown. So Tim needs to actually contact and figure out how to contact the General District Court with good cause shown. And since you have 1,000 videos talking about you traveling, Tim, I don't think you saying you don't want to travel 800 miles to Virginia Beach when I have a video evidence of you talking about potentially traveling to Virginia and up to New York. So, you have so much video evidence, and the courts love that stuff. Didn't want to pay a notary. Didn't want to pay an attorney either. Oh, sorry. That's the second page. Okay. So he says, this is awesome. Motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Well, this is not the case. Looks like he has to have help with it. It's not admissible. In years? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's in all sorts of, he doesn't want anybody pointing him out. Anyway, this is why this is awesome. This dispute, one, concerns YouTube copyright strikes. No, Tim. It concerns the fact that because you did so much frivolous requests of copyright removals, which you perjured yourself every time I counter notified you, and you did not show to YouTube that you had taken any legal steps against me. And you perjured yourself probably about 7 times. That's actually a legal document that you signed. You may not read the things that you do, Tim, but the thing that you did was perjure yourself because you never have saw any actual legal actions against me, which is how I was able to have a very well-paid copyright attorney send you multiple cease and desist, Tim, and contact YouTube. I have all the trail. In fact, they know you've been served because they contacted me. Motion denied. Thank you, DJ Shelly Show, for that awesome super. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's love right here. That will help if I have to send him anything else certified. I was like wondering today, like, do I have to do this in front of a notary and stuff? It's like, no. What Does him living in an RV have to do appearance being a hardship? They saw how much he made from YouTube. Yeah, I suppose he could just hitch up and travel. I mean, I've got 1,000 videos where I could show on a USB and hand it to the judge saying, look at him. Says he could travel right now. Just needs some, some gas money and the love of Jesus. And obviously, this is what God told him to write. Oh, I should have put that into the giveaway, but I didn't want to disrespect God that way. I wouldn't disrespect God, but I'm sure Tim prayed on this shit. And it's literally crap. Okay. So he tries to say this dispute concerns YouTube copyright strikes under the DMCA. Federal courts have exclusive jurisdiction over copyright matters. He tries to quote something. Well, Tim, this isn't a federal matter. That's if you want to take me for my stuff. That's where you take me. Okay? I'm taking you to small claims for tortious injury because you specifically caused harm to me as a business, knowing you were causing harm to me, knowing it would take my channel down without actually legally doing anything and causing me to have to hire attorneys that are not a normal course of a YouTuber's necessary business actions all the time. And under that, and I could actually take you to the DMCA and go for all those frivolous copyright strikes you did. So if anybody would win that argument in court, sir, it would be I. And I have it all documented. So I hope you do too. It's delightful. Yeah, bragging. Yeah, he's bragging constantly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How to write a full sentence. He's complete cynicism. Oh no, the second page is going to kill you. When you, it's hilarious. I was like, oh great, Tim gave me some more. And thank you for all 265. You know what? I'm this close to 1 million views on this channel. I'm 3,000 views to 1 million views, and so I want to thank you guys because without you guys, it would not be possible. Letting this little channel keep growing because I should be buried in the algorithm because it does do me harm as a creator. All of those frivolous copyright removal requests and strikes that I was levied unnecessarily by Mr. Baker, who sought no illegal action and actually perjured himself. He does not understand that YouTube is not his legal attorney. They've wiped their hands. Once you sign that and say you're taking legal action and you're not doing it, clearly says you're perjuring yourself. That's what's so wild. Wrong, done and wrong. Subject matter jurisdiction. Right. Exactly. This is not exactly. Oh yeah. This he needs to hire an attorney. And then he sent this to an actual copyright attorney. My attorney sees this, she's gonna die laughing. She's not even gonna know what happened here. She knows that, and she keeps getting stuff because I included her cease and desist and stuff in the process serving because I wanted him to actually see that cease and desist. So he has no idea. That probably blew him away. The strikes were processed via YouTube's automated copyright match tool. Challenges belong in federal court on the Copyright Claims Board, not small claims. That's you, Tim. You are the one who's supposed to be going to the DMCA. I'm going to small claims, Tim, for the tortious injury your business caused my business. And using a long arm statute to do so. Because, Tim, you are a national YouTube channel with a national business. So you're not a personal entity, sir. This is you, sir. Approach him in the parking lot. I know. Oh, yeah. And we'll show the, my signed, notarized affidavit of service from the process server who didn't know how to do his job. Defendant is a big deal on YouTube's. I know. No, you can't wait. You're going to die when you see the second page. Make sure you hit the polls, guys, that I have. Okay. This one. Virginia small claims, and then he mentions obviously the code is limited to money judgment up to $5,000. Well, yes, Tim, I know. And it's by coincidence that it did really hit 5,000. I have close to $4,900 in attorney fees. And I'm sure once I calculate the YouTube income that I lost, it will go over 5,000, which will actually look better for me in the court because the judge will round it down to 5,000. I'm just asking for the full 5,000 plus costs. But he says here, this case is preempted. Really? Really? You think I preempted this case? Dismiss. Dismiss. Hold on, I gotta bring in. You know who? You know who?
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that, so I beg it. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Hell yeah, and I think we need Judge Joe Mathis to try this one. Jeez. All right. Block 3, remote appearance. Request for remote appearance. They don't do that for small claims in Virginia. They don't even let you bring a telephone in the courtroom, Tim. At Virginia Smoke, at whatever. RV. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Actually, Franklin, Virginia. Oh, is that where you're up at? Oh, it's been beautiful weather too. Have you guys had great weather? It's been like just like a summer day. I went outside with the dogs and it was just gorgeous a minute ago. Okay. So Tim is trying to let us know after he just pushed out 30 push-ups on his channel. Defendant is 67, lives full-time in an RV in Bradenton, Florida. Well, Tim, you're already saying you want to hitch this thing up. I know. It says hokey. That's right. I'm so glad you're here, Grandma Pocketbook, for this one because I know you're enjoying this one. And you know what? Because I'm having so much fun with this, I'm actually considering becoming what's known as a legal nurse consultant and working with paralegals. Grandma Pocketbook, maybe email me. And here in Virginia, and acting as a legal nurse consultant and seeing like merit reviews and actually seeing if people really do have cases and doing that sort of stuff. And so it's given me, because I'm having so much fun with this, and I love this sort of stuff, that maybe I actually, because I have a lot of experience and I'm obviously in my graduate studies as a nurse educator, so I obviously have a lot of experience in my subject matter, that maybe I can pivot to legal nurse consulting as my own business. Yeah, too cool. Yeah. And you actually would go into courtrooms and could speak or review cases and stuff, and you would own your own business. It's like you do your consulting yourself. So Tim's given me like a whole new idea of what I could do for a business. You like that? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You think I would be a perfect legal nurse? I'm very good at catching stuff. So I'm thinking it'd be a good idea. Yeah, hey, you've just come in. Nice to meet you. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yes. And I have a number of people I know, a lot of attorneys here in Virginia Beach. And there's small business grants here in Virginia Beach for women starting businesses. So I could potentially get a $5,000 to $10,000 grant in order to help me advertise and market my business and meet people. So yeah, I need to, yeah, well, Tim could be my first attorney I could work for. This is hilarious. Yes, this is, and I am swearing you guys, this truly came in from his own self, Mr. Sarasota Tim. I can't make this stuff up. Okay. The only thing I could show you, I don't want to show his address, okay? because I don't want to dox his details. But I can show you there. Let me make me big for a second. Hold on. No, hold on. Let me not. Don't want to dox Tim. See, there it is. Timothy R. Baker. on the all right, I try to hide stuff. On the certified letter that came to me. Okay, there I am. See? So I just want to show this came in this, okay? Not making this up. Okay. I couldn't make up something this dumb. I shouldn't say that as a nurse. You showed us his email, Ray. Oh no. That's okay. He shows his email address on his YouTube channel. Oh yeah, that's the second page. That page is awesome, guys. Hold on. Let me add this one to the stage. The second page is the best. I have to point something out there. Okay. So he says an 800-mile travel for a 10-minute hearing causes undue hardship. He's got plenty of money. I can show that he just sold a Goldwing motorbike that he got at least $20,000 for. So I don't think that's going to cause him any undue hardship. Request WebEx appearance. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't really care about the email address. He puts an email address on his YouTube channel. Okay. Block 4, service and harassment. Service defective under Virginia Code 801 section 801-296. Process server approached defendant in parking lot without verifying identity or proper delivery. Says who under what witness, Tim? Says who under what witness? You can't just say stuff like that, Tim. You just can't. You just can't, okay? Because I literally have right here, and I've left out some information, obviously. This is a notarized copy, Tim, of the affidavit of service. This clearly states what went down. And in fact, I've asked for the original hard copy to take to court, sir. So I don't, it's the best RV you could ever buy. Just plenty of money. He didn't think this wasn't going to go online. Okay, so I've obviously redacted some of the information. But it's very obviously, they also let my attorneys know, my poor attorneys. So received, from the service, it says exactly what time I contracted them. And it says exactly who was served, his address, which confirms on the certified letter I sent him. So obviously it's the correct address. Obviously the name of the processor being duly sworn, depose, and say that on the 21st day of February 2026 at 3:03 p.m. I individually personally served by delivering a true copy of the warrant in debt, small claims division, affidavit for service of process on the Secretary of the Commonwealth. Tim, this is how you serve somebody, okay, sweetheart? Process of the Secretary of the Commonwealth with attached exhibits, read life and buy channel, and copyright removal request counter in state of Florida. This is the part Tim loves. Uniform Commercial Code financing statement form. Because I made sure he knew I was going to send that EIDL. Because, why not? With the date, and because that's one of the reasons why I make commentary about Tim, is because he took out a fraudulent EIDL loan. Because there's no way that he should have a lien $25,000 above on chattel he doesn't actually own. Those are supposed to be assets for his coupon business. That doesn't exist. If you still have that loan, you better still have that business. That was a business loan for specific business use. That's it. You didn't have a business, Tim, especially one that required $58,400. That's why you've got a lien, sir. And you paying on it, which is what you say on here, it doesn't matter. That's not going to save you from wire fraud and purging yourself on a government form stating you had a business in operation. You have perjured yourself in so many different places, Tim. It's astounding that you have the gall and the audacity to send this drivel. God, he hated this. This was $10 that it cost him. And then he sent another one to the attorney, not going to do anything with it. Famous YouTuber. Yeah. All the way process server was watching a YouTube video or two. Yeah. Why is this state? He was married or not? I know. So it says here, endorse Timothy R. Baker at that address and inform said person of the contents therein in compliance with state statutes. I'm sure that Virginia is going to be okay with this, Tim. You know, I'm sure because they're also going to serve you, but they're sending you a certified letter. And if it goes the way my demand letter did, which I've never opened, okay, because that's my demand letter I originally sent you back in January. And if it comes back, forwarded the same way, then you're definitely paying like a mail shell game. And Social Security would like to know your good address, because that's important. And so would probably the Small Business Administration. I'm sure they would love to know that you're at the RV lot in Bradenton. Sovereign citizen. I know. He could get Hilton Tom to get him a hotel room. It's a nice time of year. It's right after Easter. You can get yourself a deal. Military status based upon inquiry of party served. And there is a special website I have to go to. Like I said, we'll talk about that in the members only, about that part, because that's very important for my default judgment in court. When I show up, I want to show up with everything ready. So the judge just says default judgment, especially because I'm going to bring in this too, this letter now as evidence. So I shouldn't stop throwing it around. Okay, military status. So he says defendant is not in the military service of the United States of America. Well, we know that. Stolen valor all the way if you can get a cheap hotel room. Marital status based upon inquiry of the party served. Defendant is not, refused to state whether or not the defendant is married. Okay, this is the best part. So they obviously say accuracy 10M. So I guess they said attempt location. They only had to attempt one time. Wasn't like they even had to look hard for him. One time and done. So he's really, out traveling, guys. Description of person served. Okay. So this was their description. Age 60. So Tim, you look good for your age, obviously. They thought you looked 60. So you obviously don't look as aged as the others in that area. Obviously a male, skin color white. This is the best part. Height 5'8". Height 5'8". 185 pounds. So that's how he described him. Did he file the letter with the court? Who? Tim? What? No, he's only sent this to me and my attorney. He's not filed anything with the court. And I don't think this is going to work for like extenuating circumstances to like get some type of continuation. If they saw how much evidence he has, and he's running out of time, actually. Thank you so much, the real Smelvis, for that wonderful super chat. Please take his $1. I don't want him in Nevada. 5'8". Yep. So his 5'10". No, Tim, you looked a clear 5'8" compared to the process server. And I'm sure that they're used to describing people. And then obviously it's certified that they are over 18, that they have no interest in the above action, and serve the documents in accordance with state statutes, Tim. So you might be wanting to say about how he came up to you in a parking lot, but that's not uncommon, Tim. He just obviously didn't like the fact that everybody at that RV park, obviously at 3:00 in the afternoon, saw Tim get served. And he's still out here putting out 15 videos of wind-drenched just garbage. See, Tim, I don't even need to show your stuff for this. This is a virtual here without sending it to the court. No, and my attorney is not even on this case at the moment. My attorney was literally for the copyright stuff, not any of this stuff. This is me going pro se. I'm not paying for the attorney. So the reason why they've included the attorney, I think, so much is because obviously one of the things included was a cease and desist from an attorney's firm, which is an official document. So obviously they alerted them that he had been served. And my attorney was just like, hey, I got this email. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And I said, no, I'm great. I got it. So now my attorney's going to get this thing and just wonder what the hell's going on. She'll probably send me an email. I'll be like, I'm just trying to recuperate, for torturous injury, my monies. I don't try to write too much because they charge I tell you, it's a very good firm and they definitely charge. Which is why I'm trying to get my money back. And Tim could see quite clearly how much an attorney costs. And he obviously hasn't wanted to spend. And obviously it was notarized as it should be. And I've asked for the original hard copy because I believe that's what I would need in court. But this may still be sufficient for court. But this obviously is to show that I did let him know about this court date. So when I go into the courtroom and Mr. Baker does not show up because he sent this as his, defense as to why he shouldn't be in court, then he obviously is going to have an issue. He's going to have an issue. All right, let's get back to the rest of his fun. Okay. Yeah, so, and we don't do any type of Zoom. There's no Zoom for small claims court in Virginia. I don't know what he's on about. That doesn't happen here in General District Court, Tim. We's old-fashioned in the Commonwealth, sir. You saw very clearly on that warrant in debt what you have to do. They don't even do Zoom for the Florida cases. Because I looked into that. Because if they had, I would have just taken you in Florida, sir. But you are a business doing harm to another business for no reason other than you want to silence me. Because why else would you because you don't take me for copyright. So that argument is null and void, Tim. You have none of your you going through YouTube's copyright system is not, they then have washed their hands once you go through that process. And that's the part you haven't quite grasped. And you probably should. Okay. This is the best part too. This action is retaliatory. Says the man who retaliated 7 times against my channel. It's been I think I've had to address, I want to say at least 5 strikes on my channel. And I'm still here. It was about 7 videos though. So it's 7 videos, 5 strikes. And all of my videos have been restored. None of my strikes are there. And on the last video, once I submitted my counter notification and Tim perjured himself again, I had my strike automatically rescinded without even having to wait for his supposed, showing to YouTube that he's legally seeking to, rectify this in a court of law outside of YouTube. YouTube is not your attorney. I don't think he just gets it. This is the best letter he ever wrote in his life. It is. He lies about his height. Yeah, it's absolutely the best. I'm surprised. I know. This is the best. This action is retaliatory. Plaintiff runs the life in the vibe. Can't even get the name of my channel right. Life in Vibe. Vibe is the name of the creative arts district in Virginia Beach, and it happens to coincide with like Life in Vibe. Like, anyway, Tim, it's too much for you to understand, obviously. With 600 plus videos targeting defendant included EIDL docs. Yes, exactly, Tim. Public SBA lien. See, he's got a public. Why? How do you have a lien on a business that doesn't exist, Tim? How do you have a lien on business equipment? It's all for that oil change coupon business that you went belly to belly, door to door. Do you have $58,000 of computer equipment and printing equipment in your RV in that shed over there we can't see, where you're like hand printing, like printing out the coupons yourself? Yeah, well, he absolutely. Well, this is the lien. This is the lien, Ann. Anybody who received $25,000 and above in EIDL money, which is only for very specific business expenses, business loans, like if you had a loan on a building, or equipment, utilities, things to keep the lights on of the business and to keep the business opened, not to get over. And they only gave out these liens for the amounts of $25,000 and above, which somebody who's a sole proprietor, they were only eligible to up to $10,000. So the fact that he went and took in for a business, he had to have made some really big bloopers on that. So he perjured himself and lied to the U.S. government when he sent this filing in. And then when he received the money, probably in his Wells Fargo account, because that's where he got the PPP monies, he committed wire fraud at that point by accepting that money to his account for a business that when he goes to recertify this in 2026, how is he going to show what his assets are? They need to match to his IRS statements because he should be showing this all on his Schedule C. And it cannot be his YouTube business. That business was not going to get an EIDL. And besides, he does say his YouTube business did not become monetized until 2023. So it's wild. Yeah, what inventory, equipment, instruments? Yeah, that they talk about the chattel. This is like a really important, like a piece of evidence of his committing the fraud on the government. It's huge because he should never have had this. And we have all the videos where he admits where he used it for personal debt. That's even worse. And if I get this, obviously, the reason why I've obviously made commentary is because he is someone who conned and scammed. And now he does it with tax write-offs by showing every mundane detail of his life. He turns that as ordinary and necessary expenses if he were to write it off on his taxes, which he may be forced to do now he's getting Social Security, but who knows? He doesn't try to ever get found because he's potentially playing a male shell game too. This is a con artist handbook, and trying to send this letter is just ridiculous. Public lien, payments current. Doesn't matter if your payments are current, Tim. You still committed a crime against the federal government. You still perjured yourself the second you signed that document and said that you had a business in existence that needed this money and that you were keeping its doors open and operational by getting that money. And you have no business in operation, which means that they literally should be able to call in their loan. Because what are they loaning you money for? It's not for your lifestyle for the rest of your life that you got to enrich yourself with a personal vehicle or debt payment. That's not how it works, sir. He took it still exists. So the evidence is still there. And now he can't strike that channel to get it taken down. And the full video. And then he has another one where he talks about his double dipping with PPP and unemployment insurance. And Florida is really cracking down. And they're getting, at the moment, to the level of money that you took out, Mr. Baker. So they're going to cross-reference and see what business, because you should be filing with the IRS and on your Schedule C, all the stuff they got leaned on that EIDL. Yeah, he's an absolute common. Should have done the cease and desist, Tim. Yeah, it was so much easier. Yeah, I don't know where he thinks this is going to go. I don't think he realizes that I'm going to get a writ of garnishment for his stuff. And I mean, if I whistleblow on this, the SBA, if they find out he doesn't have any of this thing, they will put his RV to auction and whatever monies that he has. And then they'll take their money and whatever else I might get in garnishment. But I'm just going to garnish his YouTube salary, probably. But I am going to do that. And I only have to change it to Florida. And it's just a simple paperwork and send it. I mean, it's just paperwork process. It's real paperwork, Tim, not the stuff that you do. You know, the stuff that gets signed and notarized by actual, professionals. So I don't think that you're going to be able to argue this affidavit of service not being professional, sir. Approach you in a car park. You're so ridiculous. All right. They could have asked the people inside your RV office, is that Mr. Baker over there, and confirmed your identity before they approached you. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then he says these are the included the EIDL docs are irrelevant and prejudicial. There you go. Prejudicial. I'm like, what are you talking about? The whole reason I make commentary about you, Tim, and the reason why you're probably trying to quieten me is because of the EIDL. Because you know that you committed a crime. And then it says here, block 5, signature and notary. You can tell he just picked this off of something. Respectfully submitted, puts his name, telephone number, which I think I blocked that out. Yep. Defendant certifies under penalty of perjury. Tim is just constantly wanting to perjure himself. The desire for perjury is just long and hard with this man. Hold on, I'm going to have to bring up something for that one then, since I said that.
I can't even get erect.
You can't. You know what? But I think we need some of this.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Tim really does freaking stink with this letter in a funny, good way, though. It was fine. Oh, God, yes. Tax. Oh, yeah. Tax audit. Yeah, he's a walking red flag for the IRS, especially for the amount of write-offs he does with that YouTube channel. As much as he thinks that, if he actually does ever file his taxes, which I would love to subpoena those, but, there's no point because he's not going to show up to court, obviously. Okay, so he says here, he's put this notary acknowledgement here, okay? State of Florida, County of Manatee on this day, blah, 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 my commission. Does he notarize it? No, he doesn't get it notarized. What was the point of putting that in there? It's just hilarious. Tim, I've shown you what something notarized looks like. Okay. This is notarized. How you got served. Okay. That's notarized by a notary. Okay. Everything that I'm going to, the other stuff that I have to get ready for the courts like all of my receipts of the monies that I had to spend will be notarized. All of my court costs, everything notarized. You know, in fact, the process serve is now part of my tortious injury, and I can include that in. So, because this was like a service I wouldn't usually have to pay for. It's not actually court costs. This I could actually roll into the small claims. So I've easily gone over $5,000 at this point, Tim. And so I'm not going to be going in saying exactly 5,000. I am just electing, and I will say to the judge that I understand and I am willing to, you know, make the loss and you know, and I'm understanding that one of the limitations of small claims. But it's just an easier way. He didn't even have it notarized. He put a space for notary. No notary. And then here, certificate of service. I hereby certify that a true copy of this motion. Okay, Tim, I didn't know you were a judge. Oh my gosh. He's
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
I think only a judge can put in for a motion to dismiss, or his attorney when he actually goes to court. And only the judge can decide, Tim. You can't just say, hey, you need to stop this now. There's a liability involved. Yeah. Well, you have to, in Virginia, our credit unions, like, I don't know if it's the same out in California for you, Gen X, have very certain things, like they just notarize copies and stuff. So there's a certain thing like affidavits. They'll notarize, like I need to do one for Tim not being currently in the military, and there's a certain website I go to and I look up this thing and I print it out and I print out another thing and I get that to a notary and they sign that this is, you know, a real thing, that he's not serving in the military. So when I do the default judgment, when he doesn't show up to court, that I have that ready to go, because that will make it easier for the judge. In Virginia, they're really fussy about having that piece about the actual military service, which is why the military service is also mentioned in this on the Florida one. But this isn't enough where Tim says he's not in the military. I actually have to do something on my end. Yeah, he's going to show up. He's right. You know, he talks about travel. He talked about coming to Virginia. And then obviously it served to me. Let me tell you this. Obviously it came served to me on that date. Now, this is the best one, the second page. Second page just kills me. This is just the chef's kiss on here. So this he actually thinks is a legal document. I also served a true copy via certified mail return receipt to plaintiff's counsel of record, Williams Mullen. Yeah, well, this is the first time you've reached out to my attorney, and you reached out to my attorney with this. This is why Tim been all chipper lately. He thinks he just got me so good. He just got me so good with this. He just. That's it. Motion to dismiss granted, sir. Absolutely. You know, I think he absolutely, he did. He got me. He really did. Good job, Tim. Well done. Well done, sir. Yes. We got a sunglass emoji on here. Oh, really? Oh, ours in Virginia always, like, mine has a notary. They like me to schedule an appointment, but I can just walk in. I might schedule an appointment ahead of time. I have to take a look at my calendar, but it's going to be coming soon. I've got some things to do. And there's a way to get rid of garnishment, not the shades. Tim's poorly written reason form is not going to make this go away. Yes, none of this has a basis. Yeah, absolutely. And he thinks this is about copyright, which is not the case is that your frivolous actions around abusing a copyright system as part of, the business, you cause me harm, Tim. I did in my, reputation, all sorts of stuff. I mean, I could take this to the DMCA for all the perjury he committed by sending in those things and me countering him and saying, okay, well, show me where you're taking me to court. And then he didn't actually do anything. And he just assumes because my YouTube videos got restored, I guess, we took care of that matter. No, Tim, you committed perjury like 7 times, sir. And every time you kept doing it, you kept perjuring yourself. And you want to talk about here, about some perjury somewhere else on this thing. Under penalty of perjury again. Just absolutely wild. Yes, he did. He did a sunglass emoji on here. I can't. I know. This is what he thinks seriously of, an actual serious issue around court. And the fact that he feels threatened about his illegal actions around the EIDL. Well, Tim, 2026 might be a banner year for you, mate. Especially when you have to show the SBA. What in the heck do you have against your lien? Against that huge loan that you took out? Good luck, Tim. Yeah, his AI failed him. And then he puts that he sent this to my attorney, Timothy Allbaker, and then he wrote Sarasota Tim with a sunglass emoji. I said to Bissig, I said, Tim sent me some sort of certified letter. I said, I wonder what it is. I said, I'm not nervous about anything that he sends to me. And having read this is just, is something no, he's not signed. He's not perjured himself anywhere on this. I don't know what he thought he was going to get. Did he really think this is what's going to stop him having to go to court? I mean, yeah, it's so yeah, that's where we're at with Tim in court at the moment. So let's take a look at the poll, and then maybe we'll get a quick react in. So who helped Tim write the motion to dismiss letter? Tammy, she's the smart one at 18%. We got 210 votes. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Grok, it's his attorney. It's 60%. Fred, Teddy, and all the guys at 22%. Because, why would he ask except for Miss Tammy help? Because Tammy's so smart. So, yeah, this is where we are at with Mr. Baker. I'm obviously going to tuck this little gem away. And I find it hilarious that he tried to. I'm wondering if I should let ZapServe know that they feel that he was served improperly. Approached defendant in parking lot without wearing identity or proper delivery. Well, Tim, where's your evidence of that, sir? Where is the evidence that this man did not do his job as you state here? Because unless you have a witness or some type of evidence, or you were videoing him, which for somebody who loves to put every mundane aspect of his life on video, you decided not to include that one. Maybe a 6-year-old neighbor. I think it's actually a 6-year-old neighbor actually would do better than Tim. Oh my gosh. This is about, oh yeah. Yeah, the process server would enjoy the comedy. Yeah, I know. I was wondering if I should let them know what he says, but I'm sure they would find it laughable. Tim, permanent victim. This is Tim the narcissist. This is what narcissism, just unbridled narcissism looks like. Somebody who he feels in all of this, Tim is the victim. Tim is the victim in all of this. Because I make commentary over a person who I have strong beliefs that he was, and we know he took Johnny Vegas's golf clubs. I mean, he stole this person's $2,500 golf clubs. Grandma's Pocketbook did a great video explaining that really clearly. Thank you for that, Grandma's Pocketbook. If you ever want to make anything explaining my stuff, I don't mind. Just, if you could clarify, if you want to let Tim know how he's not getting this right, be my guest. I'm not going to be upset. And I won't copyright strike you about it. I'm chill with that. And I know there's lots of other creators who do stuff too. I'm chill. I don't care. The process server has it on the body cam, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure the process server, it's the highest rated process. I mean, this company is used constantly by attorneys firms in Florida. Tim's this BS letter with no evidence, nothing. You got your witnesses lined up, Tim? That's a pretty bold statement you're making there, sir. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, hey, I'll bring potentially, just send people my way too. Let people know that, I'm obviously going pro se over here and just, trying to read all the statutes and making sure that I have everything. But I'm trying to look over the laws, Tim. That AI is going to get you lost, sir. You're not going to figure it out if you just rely on the AI. What's up with Kentucky New Down against Ray? Oh, I guess they're just, I don't know. They just, obviously jealousy. I mean, I should say it like Tim does. It's because they're just jealous haters. I have no idea. It's because they, they're just trying to cause their drama. But I'm over here having fun with receipts. So I don't need to worry about drama. All right, Tim is got his video. We'll just do a quick react. And we're so close to getting to 1 million views on this channel. So I'm so excited. We will try to celebrate maybe tomorrow night. Maybe I'll get to 1 million. That would be really exciting. I can't believe it. 1 million views on this channel is wild. And so maybe we just have to have a party. I think I already gave away some memberships. I like to spread them out. Okay. So Tim decided to do a morning chat because we've got, he's so confident that this letter is going to be the game changer that he needs for his channel. That letter, that's a game changer. This is why Tim is out here. Confidence is riding high at this time. Yes, Tim acts like Chantel. I know. Yes. Thank you, man. I'm at 997,000 views. So I was just 3,000 views short of 1 million today. So I'm hoping by tomorrow I get to that 1 million with this live stream. I'm hoping this live and then obviously some other views will put me at that 1 million mark. So all your likes and thumbs up and everything really help because I've never thought I could get to 1 million views. So that's exciting. And thank you guys. That's pretty exciting. I think 1 million people might have seen us talk about Tim's shenanigans. Yeah, you just got, oh my gosh, Dark Phobia. You missed the best stuff ever. You're going to have to go back to the beginning because I just shared a letter that I received from Sarasota Tim asking for a motion to dismiss my court case. And I think he came with a really strong argument to keep going with my court case. Yes, I want the letter framed. Tim sent some lame letter, which isn't even signed or notarized. Yeah, because he's not, because he doesn't really want to perjure himself with a signature. But unfortunately, Tim, it's come certified with your name and address on it. So I guess the purging's there. Because you love to perjure yourself. You perjure yourself every time you strike my YouTube channel. And it's funny that you haven't wanted to strike me recently. Just interesting. And there is a way to garnish you in Florida, Tim. It's not that complex, okay? And you've got YouTube AdSense, sir. So unless you just shut your YouTube channel down, which I don't think you would want to lose that write-off, because everything you've got is a write-off on your channel. Ordinary, that's why he keeps talking about it, guys. I'm telling you, you've got to check out the new tax codes 2025 for content creators. I mean, I'm going to write off so much more than I did last year. I didn't think to write off anything last year, which actually might work in my favor because it actually shows that my channel made money last year for my court records. Whereas this year I get to show, thanks to Tim's abuse of my channel, I actually have a loss, and that loss is going to be so significant. It's actually going to lower the tax threshold of my standard deductions of my W-2 wages, Tim. So I appreciate that. I'm going to take this pile of garbage that you gave me, and I'm going to turn it into some dang lemonade. Yeah, we are. We are. Thank you, Thomas. I agree. He claims traveling to 800 miles would be a hardship. Yeah, I know. And I'm targeting him unfairly. Well, this is YouTube, Tim. If you put yourself out here in the public landscape and want to be a public figure, you're going to also have to have public criticism. And when you are just another person trying to screw the American taxpayers out of money, then yeah, I'm coming for you. Especially when you've tried to just take my channel down. Probably if you hadn't been so aggressive, Tim, probably got bored with you after a while. But you became so aggressive towards me, I knew you were hiding stuff, and you're hiding all sorts of stuff. I mean, I don't know if you're not doing mail fraud and mail shell games and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, we're going to look at Tim's push-ups real fast. So Tim is just, buzzing because he hadn't seen me out, making videos. So maybe he really felt that this scared this scared me. And so, I decided, not to be such a bitch and just back away because it's Sarasota Tim, everybody. And he had a right to that huge amount of money because for most of us, over $58,000 for nothing. Doesn't matter that you're paying on it, Tim. Why did you get an EIDL? You just admitted to your fraud, Tim. And you know that UCCC filing. Reason being is that's the reason why you want me to be quiet, is my rationalization going into the courtroom. The reason why you have persistently targeted me is because I talk about your fraud. And my small claims court judge doesn't have to do it, but it just means that I document it as a whistleblower in a courtroom. So when I get the rest of the evidence package together and send it to the attorney's office in the Middle District of Florida, the Eastern District, Middle Eastern District of Florida, something like that it's called. But that's the one in Manatee County. It's one of the most aggressive at prosecuting these cases in the entire United States. So you live probably in the worst place to be found. But you try to probably not be found by thinking you can hide your physical address. Well, I can let them know through this Florida process server that no, sir, you do have a very definite address at that RV park. And you should be letting the Social Security Administration know that too, Tim. You're in just so much trouble, sir. And I just find it fascinating because, Tim is just such a typical type that probably has just paid as little and has found as many ways possible to give as little to this country while claiming to be such a patriot. And, I don't like these types of con artists. And Tim's a con artist. A lot of the stuff he's doing with YouTube, a lot of it should not be written off the way he does. But, I hope he's keeping really good mileage logs if he's writing off all these vehicles and stuff.
Morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim coming to you from inside the crasher here in beautiful Bradenton slash Sarasota, Florida. I just knocked out 55 push-ups. Got at least 55 or 100 to go. I knock them out. Well, first of all, Fred got me on these. Then I watched a YouTube video actually this morning. By the way, it's just a couple minutes after 6 a.m.
I'm going to read this in Grandma's pocket. Ray should be able to see all docs he sends to court. Doesn't look like he even sent this to the court. If he did in that form, they would probably send it back. They wouldn't even know what to do with that. They'd be like, what is this? What is this? They would have this. It's no affidavits. He's not, he needs to get like affidavits and stuff in place, I'm sure. I don't know for his end because I don't care what he has to do. I'm worried about my pro se case and how I present my, because when he doesn't show up, I still am going to show obviously the rationale in my time to get my default judgment. And obviously I'm going to have in place all the paperwork they need so we don't have to go back to court, Tim. Because I need to show that you're not currently serving in the military, and I need to get also notarized all of my different receipts, including your private process serve. That is now come into part of my small claims because that's not like costs. That's separate. That's the stuff I give to the court. That's not these things that I would not have as a usual business expense because of your behaviors, Tim. The pro se documents get translated into legal form. They look for relevant arguments. Yes. And, I'm hoping that I can, demonstrate the tortious injury caused by my business from Tim because my business is monetized. And so I will show my, 1099 from this year and against, my actual costs that I've had to spend, the fact that I am a Virginia business and he is doing this to me as a business and he's another business. This isn't a private thing, Tim. You are a monetized YouTube channel with AdSense revenue targeting another business on this platform. And your constant targeting and trying to just, kill my business, which is what you were intending to do, because why else were you continually striking me with no legal action that you took in a court of law anywhere against me? Cost me this money. This is not normal business expenses. And I have every right in this respect because it's not attached to the case I'm going into at the moment. These were unnecessary business expenses I had to spend to keep my business open because of your actions. And that's the tortious injury. And that's what I stick with. All anybody gave me was an FU. Right. Well, I promise you, I lost my profit because Tim decided to, come after me. And he's crushing it already. And I just don't think that there's too many small creators that they don't know ways to get, they have to hire attorneys to literally protect their channels, especially ones that call out con artists like Tim. I have plenty of people making commentary around me. I'm not rolling around hitting their channels. I don't even care. It's just part of doing, if you don't have a thick skin on this platform, then don't be on it. I know people say some things about me. That's okay. Not everyone's going to like me. That's okay. That's life, you know? Shoot, you know, I know that. You know, a lot of people might just thought I just did some dumb commentary half the time, you know? You wish you could go to court with me. Well, I've heard that Beef Stew wants to show up. That's Miss Vicky let me know that Stewart is talking about trying to come to Virginia Beach court. Fine, go ahead. You can't bring your phone into the courtroom, Stewart. And I promise you, the place is packed with police. And being in a courtroom in Virginia and you start harassing a female in there, I only have to say one thing to those officers and you would be in a pickle, mate. So I just don't think they realize this is serious. I really like to come. Well, I would love you to be there. I'd have you as part of my per se team. Well, I wouldn't be so per se, but you know, and that's what small claims court is for. Tim obviously needs, look at this guy. Look at him.
Got up at 4:30.
Yeah,
typical.
4:30, yeah.
And
yeah, it's creepy.
I watched a YouTube video where a guy was talking about, if you don't have a gym, you got a floor.
That's why these guys are so creepy. That whole group of dudes are creepy. I'm sorry. That's just my professional opinion. It's creepy. And for these guys to say that, to want to come up here to my court case, fine, go ahead. But that's some creepy, weird stuff. And I certainly would not engage in a conversation with you. And if you try to, I would let the police officers know that you made commentary about this and you literally are stalking me in my home state. So that would not be a wise move. Not inside of a courthouse in Virginia. I don't think these people, and that letter from Tim doesn't seem to have him understand. This is a serious matter, Tim, and I think you realize, but I think if you think you can get away like you got away with not paying your child support, no, this is a different matter, Tim. And I know you have YouTube AdSense, and I can have that garnished. And I'm curious if you still have a bank account at Wells Fargo.
Do some push-ups. And he was talking about how, you know, when you look back, like in the 70s when I grew up, it was a slim
I want
country.
your help.
There weren't fat people.
I want, yeah,
there were, but not like, you know, behind every rock.
Yeah.
You go to Walmart now, you're like, whoa, this is a fat person convention. And I'll say it because we have a fat country. And why? Because people are looking at their phones. They're sitting inside. They're not getting any vitamin D. They don't go out and ride a bike. They don't go out and walk. They don't swim. They're not. You know.
He's still out of breath from whatever he was doing. And Tim, my cease and desist clearly said you're not qualified to talk around topics around health. You are unqualified. You shouldn't talk about them. And I do have the licensure to tell you, you are not qualified to talk about these topics.
You know, pedaling, well, I shouldn't say because I got an e-bike. They're just not active. And also the foods, the processed foods that we used to cook, that we eat today, and the fast food, oh my gosh. Well, we had McDonald's back in those days.
Just because you're going on vacation, I will.
Hell, even these restaurants you go sit down in now. It's crap. It's crap that makes you fat.
God.
And and then the doctors, they want to give you pills that don't work. They always get that creepy guy at the end, you know, after it tells you what it cures, of what it can do.
Really? Pills that don't work? Really, Tim? Really? Tylenol is a very effective analgesic, actually. I always tell people it's one of the best analgesics, pain relievers you could get is Tylenol. Works pretty good. I'm sure there's plenty of people with headaches who've taken a Tylenol, and boy, has it helped them. And I know there's people that have to definitely take blood pressure pills. I have seen the effects of over giving people too many vasodilators and vasopressors and the different ways that they work. And watching people's blood pressure just bottom out. And I remember telling the nurse, I said, I wouldn't give that to her. If you give her that, I said, I would talk to the doctor first. She's pretty close to the, cut point there. And she's elderly and you give her that medication. She's just going to, her blood pressure is going to bottom out. You're going to spend the rest of the night trying to get her blood pressure back up. Lo and behold, blood pressure dropped down to the billy-oo. And that was my first night working. I was a travel nurse at the time, working on a step-down progressive care unit on a cardiac floor. A lot of people coming out of cardiac surgery post, they have these new types of bypass surgery where they actually just like do an insertion. It's very painful though. A lot of high probability of getting AFibs and VFibs too, like, and not great. You definitely don't want a VFib. So a lot of issues with that. But yeah, you'll bottom out. But yeah, no, medications don't do anything, Tim. Yeah, it's just garbage. This guy, you saw the letter. This guy is master. I mean, this guy is so mentally sharp. Astounding. It must be all that coffee and carnivore diet he has.
If you take the pill, it can cause, thoughts of suicide. But yeah, they do give you all these fine prints about everything that they're peddling on TV. And they create things. None of that stuff is real. We don't have these ailments. We just need to.
Oh, what happened? What am I?
Pull our heads out of the phones.
What am I congratulating?
Oh,
you're
outside.
off your blood pressure meds. Oh, well, congratulations. That is awesome. That is awesome news. Good job. Exactly. Losing weight. Your blood pressure goes down 10 milligrams of, I think it's like every 10 pounds of weight you lose, you are going to significantly help lower your blood pressure. So yes, but the medications, if you are having blood pressure issues, obviously they work. There are all types, and they do different types of things too. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. Well done.
Coffee, folks.
Cardiologists will be proud of
That's
you.
the best cup of coffee I've drinking in my life. You having some coffee this morning? Sip along with me.
Oh,
it's slurpable. This was my third cup. I had a pot. You saw I made it last night. Woke up this morning, came out here, nuked a cup immediately, guzzled it down, and then followed up with one.
Congratulations.
And then I started getting in the shower and shaving and cleaning up a little bit. And then I jumped down here on the floor, get a little pump on.
Oh, I don't know about
and 25. And then, after you do a couple of exercises, your body.
I think paracetamol is kind of like ibuprofen. You're better off with acetaminophen. I think, I know that's very popular because I grew up with paracetamol a lot. But I think actually acetaminophen is probably better. I think you have too high of a bleed risk with the paracetamol, just like you do with aspirin and stuff, like all of those. The other NSAIDs, the non-steroid anti-inflammatory. I think paracetamol falls under that umbrella. So not as good as Tylenol if you have heart issues. You generally do not, which is why if he has cardiac issues, I'm surprised he's prescribed like ibuprofen and any of those NSAIDs, because those are actually going to potentially cause bleeds, which you don't really want with your cardiac patients. So they usually try not to have you on those drugs.
Body
but Tim
get stronger. You can do more the next set. You got to get the blood pumped to the muscles. And
we are a great community.
But I was saying earlier,
I would say
Fred got me on this. Fred's been doing all his life. When I watched that video this morning, all these simple things that you can do without going to a gym, just simply walking.
That's a good one. Pick that up when you leave out of the
country.
Cutting
out all sugars, carbs, processed foods. If it comes in a box, it's processed. Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. So get you some eggs and a steak, some butter, and I'm making some eggs a little bit later this morning. I got them in here, them brown boys.
I have to say I'm a fan. I don't do Factor, but I do another company called Cook Unity, which is like a private owned chef inspired. It's like all the people who did Iron Chef. Because I've, have like dietary stuff. They do a lot of vegetarian and different types of meals and stuff. It's very good. It's very good. I've showed it to Sammy. It's amazing. It has like 500 meals a week to choose from. So it's insane.
Brown ones. I got some.
I wish they would sponsor me, but not thanks to Tim hitting my channel a million times.
And I do have a couple senior salads in there. Got my cream. Got my shade over here, but there's nothing out there but darkness.
I eat flaxseed rice.
Hey, let me jump down here and bang out a few more. And I'm doing these what you call half push-ups. But hey, whether you do them all the way or halfway or a quarter of a way, do what you can. And the more you do, if you did twice as many half push-ups as you did full push-ups, it's the same thing. But my rotator cuff, it hurts too bad to go all the way down. So here's what I have to do.
Tim eats a lot of cholesterol. So Tim is 5'8". That's what the process server said. Tim, you did not look like a tall man to the process server. That means you're shorter than I am, Tim. Even better.
1,
No wonder he's
2,
so feisty.
3,
He's got the
4,
Napoleon
5,
complex.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
You did?
12, 13, 15, 20,
Oh, yeah.
25.
Yeah, because that sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? And I'd like to know, did Carl return the $700 he stiffed from his client? And I don't know if that's what I make. I've never said what I make. Carl doesn't know what I make. Does he have access to my ADP? Carl just seems to be quite unable to have receipts. But I have a receipt that clearly said, and I can bring it up, where his client asked why they stiffed him out of $700 and closed the door of his business. Why don't you ask Carl that?
30. We'll stop there before I die.
And I'm a live streamer, and this is part of what people do. They have people give them super chats and stuff. So, you know, if he's not understanding of that, I don't know what to do. Those guys are wild over there. They have no idea what live streaming is. Just really, really kind of jealous over there. Sad, as Tim would say. Jealous haters. I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't make a lot of money. So I don't know what they're talking about. And yeah, I'm allowed to have a monetized YouTube channel.
Woo! All right. All right, so 35 and 55. We're gaining on it. But I can tell you this, since I started doing those, they're much easier now. Woo! So,
are you late to the party? Okay.
That was the tricep, chest, obviously, your lats. What do we weigh today? Let's go see.
He said,
remember, this is a lot of muscle.
no. I've never spoken to Carl on the phone. If he said he spoke to me on the phone, he's an absolute liar. Why would I talk to somebody? Why would I've never given this person my phone number in my life. Carl and I have only communicated like probably through emails when we were more friendly as a community a long time ago. And then that's it. And then the rest of it's just been on my platform. I don't speak to him. Why would I be speaking to a married guy?
Oh, he goes up and down. Oh my gosh.
Wow. That's some wild
You
lying.
got to be kidding me. Wow.
Yeah, that's some wild
I'm
lying.
embarrassed to tell you how much I weigh. Wow.
Yeah, I'm allowed to make
199.0.
Yeah.
Folks, I was down to 194.
Exactly.
So that's 5 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm
you
up.
just
Is that muscle? Is that fat?
Really?
Is that
Wild.
water? Is that 3 cups of coffee?
I don't know, because I'm sure Miss Vicky and Sammy can tell you I've never mentioned anything about any of that, and I do text with certain people offline. So that's funny. See I actually try to show receipts. I don't even know how. I mean, how he even accessed my phone number. I've never given him my phone number. That's hilarious. Oh, these guys are just, I mean, it's kind of sad. It's wild.
I don't know. We do what we can. I'll tell you that. I quit Amazon, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Prime.
the rotator cup. Oh, yes, the rotator cup. I know. He supposedly has a messed up rotator cup, but he's grinding out all those press-ups that look like he was about to have a coronary after it. Look how red-faced he is. I mean, Tim, just pushing out stuff like that. Yeah, his form was terrible. I didn't think much of his form. I used to
$16 a month. Forget that noise. When I was ordering stuff left and right from the fight doing mods,
I know it's cuff, obviously. I'm saying that Tim called it his rotator cup one day. I just was like, really? A rotator cup? This is how just wild he is. And he wants to get away with this government fraud. No, Tim, we're not going to let you get away with it. We're still within statutes and limitations. They extended it to 2031. We still on a 5-year countdown over here, sweetheart. They're catching up with the amounts that you specifically, and they've got all these digital tools now to match it all up, to see what your IRS is and all this stuff. They've got like dedicated task force and all sorts of things, Tim. Especially in your area.
Talk about all these other things you get with Prime,
That's
like
wild.
Prime,
Carl lied about
Amazon
talking to me on the
Movies,
phone. That's
Amazon
wild.
Music, but they don't tell you. You don't get skips. You get shuffle play. You're better off with the YouTube Premium Lite that I have for $8 a month with the tax. It's $7.99.
Yes.
I think it's like $8.25 or something, all in. But I canceled Amazon.
Oh yeah, I have his PPP stuff right over here. I found it the other day. I'll keep him talking, but I'll bring it up. But yeah, I found his PPPs again. It was just under $6,000, but he would still have to. I mean, he took unemployment insurance too, and I think Tim would lie and say, "Yeah, my business. I still had it open till February the 15th, 2020." But that doesn't allow you to take out the EIDL, Tim, when you shuttered your business and had it long since closed. What are the things that the SBA is leaning against? What is the lien on? What business assets? It can't be
on Prime.
So wild.
Because as I told you guys before, $15 here, $15, that's $30. That pays my water bill every month. Now, today I asked, what's her name, Siri, how's the weather? And she says, thunderstorm today. I'm like, thunderstorm? Where'd that come from? So I go on and I ask Grok, and Grok says, it's pretty light winds out of the east and possible chance of a shower this afternoon, 70% humidity. I said, what gives? The Siri says it's going to be thunderstorm. It could rain the next hour. And so you can't believe a damn thing you hear anymore on TV.
As somebody who works in healthcare, somebody else picking on somebody with disabilities is just trifling in my mind. Really trifling. I think that all of his true colors, have come out. And it's just hilarious that they still have to continue to try to badmouth another creator who has a monetized YouTube streaming channel. Very different from Tim just, popping out his little videos and then, hoping people will, send him gas money for his travels that he's writing off on all of his taxes, guys. I promise you. So, he's just trying to make hands over fist on this stuff. And I'm allowed to have a monetized YouTube channel, especially as a live streamer. So it's just interesting that, they just are toxic group of hypocrites over there, really.
From here, from there, from you, from anybody. It's all a bunch of BS. Everything's exaggerated. There's a thread of truth to everything you hear today. I wasn't on the news, I heard. I'm watching YouTube news. I put on a couple of people to stay in the loop
because the amount I need to recover is around $5,000. So why would I waste time, money, and expenses going to a higher court? The other stuff with the EIDL, and also I get to show I'm a whistleblower. Then I can send that stuff over to the attorneys general. And if they get Tim and then he actually has to do restitution, I potentially could get a whistleblower fee. Why spend money in a court? Carl can't even figure out how to get Tim to a court. Supposedly he promised everybody that he would see him to jail with the EIDL. He's got so much evidence as fraud. He's done nothing. It's hilarious. And he calls himself an attorney. What a joke. I'm a better attorney than he is.
Hey, the world cut in, right? We're at this war. And so, yeah, well, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? I'm done with all that worry about should I or shouldn't I? Or this. I'm just going to crush it. That's all I'm going to do.
Well, from now on, you know what? You keep talking about Carl.
Crush the workout.
Okay.
Crush the diet.
I'm going to bring up some evidence about Carl.
Crush the negativity. I'm not doing it.
Not the negativity.
I got overview. Yesterday when I made a video, I just got off the phone with a subscriber that had to be a godsend. And he woke me up. It was like he reached through the phone and shook me. And he did it in a very articulate way. And everything that he said was just so logical, so obvious. And if you get sidetracked and start pondering, we talk about this on Crushing It for Christ. We read it in the devotional every single day. It's in there today.
All right, Tim. Okay. So if let's ask Carl. So this is, and you can find this review on Carl. All right. That's fine. He can stream my stream. That's okay. They stole $700 from me. I paid them and they did no work. Leanne offered a refund, but now ignores my emails requesting this. They've disconnected their phones. They are thieves with zero integrity. I want my money refunded. That's just one of these wonderful here. Here's one of his peers. This is what his peers said on Carl. He got 2 out of 5, posted by a managing partner for Carl Newper, May the 12th, 2014. He was a bankruptcy attorney. Gave him 2 out of 5. It doesn't seem like his peers were too fond of him. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of, part of what, Carl's history is. And then his wonderful friend Calpote. I mean, he's just an educated individual. Me and Carl, we do an audio on Sunday. You need mental help. Well, the person that ruined his channel, sad, because Calpote did kind of ruin his channel. So, I mean, if Carl wants to stream, I don't care. I'm not going to copyright strike him. But he's obviously just envious because I'm doing what he can't do. And people called him out for it. And I said after that is what inspired me to really start to look into how I could recover my funds. Because Carl, and then how I could also do something about the EIDL. Because Carl hasn't done anything. So if they all want to, it's amazing how a competent woman is going to be constantly criticized by people that hang out with this level of mentality, which is the Calpote mentality. I know. Yeah, they articulated to me, opened my eyes. Yeah. Oh, well, Tim does. And that's why I think too that Tim totally made. Oh, let me read this one. Tim totally made up that story about the guy who bought the gold wing and stuff. Because I don't believe that anybody, because Tim just filmed a video the other day, just going to go one weird place. So it's just wild. Yeah, hit the like for me.
50%. You just get off the path. Remember, I've told this analogy before. If a ship didn't have a compass and GPS, which is what they use today, but if a ship deviated just a little bit in short order, a few hours, a day, he's way over here. So if you entertain negativity for any amount, I can watch that. I know they're BS. I'm not listening to that. Sure, you're not. Then why entertain it? Why listen to it? If you know it's absolutely worthless, it's got no value whatsoever.
Yeah,
not even entertainment value.
Yeah, I would agree, Daniel.
I'll tell you why you do it.
I think there was something fishy about that gold wing sale too. I don't think he got some magic guy from the airport. Tim is just full of it. I mean, she's just so full of it. Trying to think that, and all these guys, whatever. Yeah, like $40 an hour is a lot in Virginia Beach if that's what I made. It's wild. And I can make as much money as I want from my platform if I'm entertaining people. So there you go.
It's addicting. It's like food. It's like sugar.
These guys are
it's like alcohol. It's drugs.
Unaware
it is
of
absolutely 100% addictive. And let me tell you, when you break the addiction, here's what will happen to you. Because I'm going to let you know a little secret.
Remember, the only reason why we see every mundane aspect in this all the time is this is just tax write-off for Tim. He's going to put this against his YouTube earnings so he can claim as little tax as possible. And I'm sure he was doing it definitely when he was having his all the stuff he was getting through and making a lot more money on his channel, and he was not at full Social Security age. He definitely was going to want to make sure that he looked like he could get rid of as much income as possible, because he definitely wasn't going to want to return Social Security back to Social Security. So I'm sure that Tim has all sorts of things like if he's not declaring those Facebook merchant sales from those products he reviewed and then flipped, he is literally committing fraud. I mean, like, not declaring that income, he's got some issues with the IRS too. I mean, he could be hit from about every direction at the moment. And the fact that he still puts every business out here, and we see him in the RV, so we know exactly where he's located. And his making payments on his EIDL does not protect the fact that you perjuried yourself and committed wire fraud. You perjured yourself when you said you had a business in operation that needed that you had equipment to be leaned against, or property, or whatever. Not your personal, Tim, because you didn't own much at that time. You didn't have much. All you had gotten at that point was some PPP and some unemployment. So you were still over at the apartment with Tammy, and you were probably driving the leased Toyota, whatever you were driving at the time, the little 4-door thing. And it was after that, and if they can see you on your YouTube channel that you had something new bought from that EIDL money, that is a big issue. And then if you're flipping stuff on Facebook and taking that money and not declaring it in your income, Tim, you're literally committing fraud, like tax fraud, in your business. And we see all your market book. I've got pages of pictures of that stuff that could be sent to the IRS.
In my
I mean, it's just wild.
Searching around to get into the know about the news and the war and all that, because I was curious. I was a news junkie, a few years ago, and several years ago I was a freaking nut on screaming at my TV and left, right, red, blue. Gosh, oh my God, it was controlling me, and it made no difference in my life. Well, it did in a bad way, but it didn't do anything for me. I was literally hypnotized.
Well, spending it in one place, after making the money, and still you still have to declare it on your taxes as income, as we know. You cannot just get a free item and review it and then flip it for sale like that. You've got to have to declare it in your income tax for its full amount. That's why he doesn't like putting includes paid promotion on his YouTube videos. But he don't care, because he better be filing his IRS, because they're coming knocking, Tim. I know exactly where you live. And you might be trying to play some mail shell game so people can't catch up with you and stuff. You're out of control, Tim. Look at this man. He's out of control. That letter he sent was hilarious.
And brainwashed.
This will be the last
every
video.
moment. I come in and say, I'll get a cup of coffee, turn it on, watch. I mean, it's stupid. So yesterday I peeked in, because I used to watch the Fox News. I'm a conservative. And, you don't watch the other one because they're, evil.
Oh.
Fox News isn't evil.
Well, he did make good money initially. Now, I don't know about now, but there was a time when he had that one viral video. We can look at the numbers and understand YouTube, because we have our own channels and stuff, and we can see the money. He made at least over, on that video, he made at least $20,000 or $30,000 just off of that one terrible video. And then he had a lot of videos with very high views. So there was a year that Tim probably took it at least over 100K. And that was before he reached that full Social Security age. So he needed to return money back to Social Security. So it's really just because of looking at his YouTube numbers and understanding how monetization works. And then on top of it, he was also getting his Buy Me a Coffees. And with a big viral video like that, he could have been getting up into the, $8, $9, $10 range for 1,000 view videos. Because I'm in around that when I have my rate per 1,000. I'm not at $3 or $4. I'm up at like 9 or 10. So Tim in that viral time could easily be getting that type of rate, because he had, high views. So he definitely did make money. And YouTubers can make a lot of money on that respect too. And then he had and I hope you include that too, because I'm going to make sure to include my Buy Me a Coffee too, Tim. That's money. All that Buy Me a Coffee, that's income, sir. So all these things, I do claim all of this in my taxes. because YouTube is a business, and I have a right to have a business.
So I turn it on, and the bleach blonde bubblehead, and it was at a certain hour last night. I think it was the time that Jesse Waters was on, and it was like I'm a magician, and I know all the tricks. I've seen them all. I know them all.
Well, we know that.
It's like I was in car business, so I know when the guy's like, "I'm gonna go talk to my boss for you." Then he goes around.
But it doesn't matter, because all of these things could be seized by a sheriff and sold at auction, especially for government loans he lied on. They don't care if they leave him without a roof over his head. I promise you.
Or has a cigarette, or he goes in and tells the boss, "I really got him going. They really think I'm fighting for him."
I know all their money that they.
So when I turned it on and to see before I went to the YouTube news and checked a few people out, which they're just looking for clicks too, but still they'll give you at least more of a raw talk than they will on the media, because they got a schedule, they got a plan. And I put that on, and I was like, it was revolting. I mean, absolutely revolting. It was like, I literally watched this stuff before for hours and days. Just pull yourself.
Oh my gosh, that clip that Dinger caught of Tim saying that thing about that young girl being beautiful who was like 15 is absolutely vile. Good catch, Dinger. I don't watch some of those boring videos, but sometimes you do catch some little gems like that when you watch his really mundane stuff. And what a pervert. What a pervert. And the girl absolutely heard this old guy like saying about how he thought she was attractive. He's like 50 some years older than that girl. It was vile. Vile. He is so inappropriate. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Out of it. It's like drawing on a cigarette again after like not smoking for 50 years, or taking you a drink, tasting alcohol past your lips, and you're like, so I put it on, and I'm watching it.
We'll bring it up.
5 minutes would have been forever. And I'm looking at the way he has a guest on there.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it's already been reversed. It's already, he's got cue cards. And
it was creepy.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And the hate that they're spewing to divide us. And the other channel, of course, is doing the same thing.
At the end of this.
But they got their echo chamber.
He's a good Christian.
And then Fox has got their echo chamber. And then you got these ABC letters, news channels. They got their chamber, their watchers. And it's just, it's terrible. It's terrible. That's what I was trying to say earlier in the video. Back years and years ago when people were slimmer, you didn't see fat people. People didn't talk politics. People played outside, the kids. They found things.
People didn't talk politics? Are you joking? I remember at grade school, they were asking the kids in the classroom, and this is in South Carolina, are you supporting President Gerald Ford or Jimmy Carter? What are you talking about? Maybe you didn't talk politics, Tim. What is this man smoking?
Used to do.
I don't want it.
Last night was really funny. He said,
dumb.
They give kids Ritalin these days, right? Because he got ADD. He says, when I wasn't paying attention, when I was a kid, my dad would come to me, he goes, pay attention. And he would, I mean, it was funny how he delivered. I watched some funny comedians last night. That's what I watched. I was sitting here laughing.
I know. Tim's like, no, there were no politics, man. We were just, sand railing and, having a good time at the NASCAR. I don't even know if NASCAR was around really then either. NASCAR is a fairly new sport, isn't it? Don't get me.
And there's this one Italian guy. He's hilarious. Sebastian somebody.
Oh, God.
Got that strong Italian New York accent. And he's good. He's funny. Anyway, where are you going with this, Baker?
Yeah, where are you going with this, Tim? I mean, you just said a while back ago you were only going to put out content if it was needed. And you realize you can't do that. The audience isn't really what's important. What's important is Tim writing off every mundane aspect of his life as part of an ordinary and necessary business expense on his Schedule C. Because I guess he realizes with Social Security, maybe he needs to file taxes. He needs to file taxes for that SBA loan. They're going to want to see where it went. What is it? Where's your shit, Tim? You said when you signed it, you had all this business stuff.
Watch the news. You got to know what's going on. You're not really knowing. They're not telling you. They're making up crap. And
ignorance.
It's all means to an end. It's all wag the dog. It's all.
Ignorance is not a defense in a court of law, Tim. when you're signing something that could perjure yourself, like taking $58,400.
BS today. Every single thing they show us on TV, in social media, in media, on
1947.
everything, all
Thank
the
you, Miss
commercials
Vicky.
is all.
So it's still a fairly new sport, but not that new. Thank you for correcting me. I was like 40 years out. So Tim was just up in the stands at the NASCAR, wherever he said he was. Getting beer budget, champagne lifestyle.
BS. The only thing worth watching are old shows like we grew
old
up
shows,
watching.
yeah.
They had some kind of a moral value to them, like Grit and Outlaw, Good Westerns.
Moral
They're not
value.
gory. They shoot.
Because Tim is just such a high moral character. It's just his moral character is so high. How he tries to not pay child support and skirt around the IRS. It's just high. Just a good Christian. He's just such a good Christian.
People sometimes, and some of those westerns they don't even show them shooting. I mean, they keep it, they keep it down. But today, man, you can see anything, you can hear anything, and you tell me that doesn't affect you. When you put, I'll just dab a little into this show and a little into that show and a little bit into that media and listen to a little bit of that gossip and watch this on YouTube and watch this on my computer and look at this. And then at the end of the day, you haven't done anything except poison your brain. And instead of pulling yourself out of that, looking at it from the outside in and looking at all these people in there.
Yeah, Tim really thinks he found the recipe to like ending this court case. He nailed it, guys. He gave me a master class in law. I'm so glad I got schooled by Tim.
All like this with their phone and watching stuff and texting and twatting and twitting and all this crap and Facebooking and looking for likes and tic-tacking and all that. I'm telling you, folks, it is a little bit.
And Carl loves to give me free advertising because, just going to send more people my way. I guess some of your people were already subscribing in my chat. That just helps me with the YouTube algorithm. It's not going to help you with your algorithm, though, Carl. I don't think that your band of 200 misogynists are going to support you, but so long. I've actually seen that your views are really tanking, sir. Mine are going up.
It's the same as a lot of it. It's no good, any of it. Don't do it. All right?
Thank you, guys.
Garbage in, garbage out. We reap
Tim's
what we sow.
advice.
Don't wait. Live now and
Yes.
start crushing it.
Yay! Crushing it, says Tim. Yeah, okay, Tim. All right, so let's find Tim being creepy, and then we'll end it here. That video doesn't have a lot of views. That video, we had 1.2 thousand. This was terrible. This was just wind. That was it. So let's see if we can find the video. Ted and Jolene visited. That was an uneventful video. They went to the Texas Roadhouse or something. It's not even worth looking at. I'm just glad Jolene had her pants on. Is this the one where he's out and about and he sees the girl? This one? Is this where he sees the girl? Is this the one, Dinger? Let me see if I can find the word beautiful in my. Let me see if I can bring up a transcript and find the word beautiful and see if is this the one? Is this the one where he hits on the girl? Oh yeah, here we go. Is this it? No, that's it. Okay. Do I have beautiful anywhere else? Beautiful. Speaking of beautiful. Oh, here it goes. I got it. All right. Here he goes. Here he goes. You want to watch Tim be a creep? Hold on. Let me try to find it again. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. I'm worse than Tim. Okay. I'm going to go to 24/5/15. Okay. So,
say it. Man.
So I can't take credit for finding this clip. Jolene's yeah, I'm glad she had pants on. This is where we'll finish out, and then I'll close the poll, guys. I got to work in the morning. I got to get it. No, we can't do this 3 times. We got to do this normal speed because he's a creepy old man in this one. So we just want to point out that Tim's a really good Christian. Okay, so we're actually going to go down to normal speed on this. I'm sorry, I'm taking it down to normal because you got to see this. We might even have to see it in slow motion when we see the girl's face. Thank you, Dinger, for finding this. Because I don't think I could have gone to 25 minutes of Tim on a scooter. This is disgusting. Look how young this girl is.
Starting to be warmer and even more beautiful. Speaking of beautiful.
Now, obviously the girl is also like pulling at her pants when Tim comes in. So let's slow him down. And reason being is we'll try to see if we can get the young lady's expression when Tim says something. I know Dinger managed to kind of get it. Let's see if I can get into 0.55. Let's see. So I can get her expression. So here comes Tim. His scaly ass old man hands. Here's this young girl.
Beautiful.
And look at that young girl's face. She heard Tim. She heard him. Yeah, that's probably her parents with her. Let me see if I can zoom in, David. You're asking for I don't know, because it's the only difficulty of me trying to zoom in is when I do it here and I'm on StreamYard, it kind of gets weird sometimes. So it might be difficult to do it. You know, from this point, I don't know if I can like bring it up bigger. Let me see. Let me see if I can zoom and not make it really weird. Yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything on with the StreamYard. So unfortunately, I can't. But let's see if Tim gets any closer. There's her face. Look at this look she gives him, man. She's like not impressed. That is a young girl who's like, that guy is a dirty old, like, she's like 15. Yeah, she's like 15 or 16. I met his second wife. Oh, probably. And the first one too. Oh, yeah, Tim would like, well, supposedly if you weren't on the Epstein list, according to Lady Victoria Herbie, you're a loser. And so, I guess I'm a loser. I'm okay with that. But that was disgusting. Yikes. Yeah. With his wonky eye. So thank you, Dinger, for finding Tim just being the creeper that he always is to young ladies with her parents. Yeah, stranger danger. Yeah, it's bad. Can you imagine? We'll hear it just one more time just to, hear what a creep Tim is. Let's just take it back. Hold on. I go back to normal speed. Just so you can hear, this old man be the good Christian that he is, okay? Because, Tim's just appreciates women. Oh, sorry. Underage girls. Disgusting. Absolutely foul. Amazed her dad didn't. If your dad, he should have punched you.
Or the LaBarge, however you say it. Oh, man, it's starting to be
Here we go.
warmer and even more beautiful. Speaking of beautiful.
Oh, she heard him. He is so bad. Oh no, yes. She's horrible. He's around men like that all day. They cannot be helped. No, they can't. Oh God. I mean, I remember being a young woman once too, and having some old dudes say some creepy stuff to me when I was about that girl's age as well. It's horrific. It doesn't feel good. It makes you very uncomfortable. And you made that young woman uncomfortable, Tim. So this old woman now, because I'm such an old woman, is going to make you uncomfortable by having you at a court date, because that motion to dismiss, that thing, it's not even, it's filthy, but it's basically something that should line a bird cage, because that's about as much legal worth as that letter had. You wasted $10, but gave me a good laugh tonight, Tim. Because it's literally, that's to line a bird cage. That's literally to line a bird cage. You know? And I should send the bill to my I'll make sure that the attorney bills you for having read your bullshit. How about that? If my attorney, I'm going to tell them, oh, yeah, bill Mr. Baker. Because I don't know why he sent you that letter. Yeah, there's no boys will be boys. Yeah, it's just creepy. Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah. Yeah, they can be helped. That's why men have to put them in check. And women too. And that girl put Tim in check, thankfully. So yeah, you know, he's supposed to ride an e-bike on the walkway. Tim should just keep his mouth shut when he's near young girls. And remember how creepy he was around the other young blonde girl that had the boyfriend right there? Just an absolute creep. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Zero excuses. Yeah, exactly, Angela Glass. Exactly. Might consider apologizing to life and be 1 week before the court date. Yeah, and if he does, that's not going to get him anywhere. It's too late now. No bike should be written on the sidewalk. The bike shouldn't be written on the sidewalk, and creepy old dude shouldn't be saying things that are inappropriate to underage girls. Because that's what she is, Tim. I know she looks like a young lady to you, but that's a teenage girl. Maybe 15 or 16 years old. Maybe. Sweet young thing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have 2 daughters. Yep. If I heard that, Timmy would have to have a black eye. Well, that's maybe how he ended up with the black eye last time he went down to Boynton Beach. I found a picture of you in that black eye, Tim. That thing was a doozy, mate. Absolute doozy. Doesn't take up for the inmates. Oh, that's right. Your husband's a guard. Oh, yeah. That's right. They're already locked away. Doesn't fail to drive you nuts. Oh, I know. Yeah. I'm such a terrible person. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and because I'm a single woman, with single person tax, I'm not allowed to have a monetized business either. Oh, how dare I? All right, guys, let's finish up this poll. This is why I wish the process said a video handing him the paperwork. Tim doesn't respect anyone else's privacy. He deserves none either. Right. And the thing he said about the process server not identifying himself. Oh, I'm sure he did, Tim, when he said, you're being served. That's what they do, Tim. Do you understand what a process server does? Was he? I guess Tim didn't get enough of a start to start running. I guess he's never felt what it's felt like to actually get served, because he mentioned that his and thanks to this community is the reason why I was able to serve him. So thank you. And why shouldn't I? It's not unusual for the communities of creators that a community may want to support, for them to support them, especially when it comes to the legal messes caused by somebody. So, I really appreciate it. And more than you guys realize, because by your Buy Me a Coffee donations and stuff, I was able to comfortably go to the courthouse and start this war in debt, because obviously I've been pretty much financially tapped out. That $5,000, I'd rather spend that on my dog's upcoming surgery, or put that into something to build a future for maybe me to have something where I actually rescue dogs, and do really good stuff with my money. That's my plan. So I, appreciate you guys so much. So let's get to the poll. Who helped him write the motion to dismiss letter? Grok, his attorney. It's his attorney at 59%. Yeah, Grok. Freddie, Teddy, and all the other guys came in at 23%. Yeah, they did a real bumper. They really did a good job. And then Tammy, she's the smart one, who potentially is a co-conspirator on his EIDL. Isn't that interesting? At 18%. 254 votes. You guys rock. All right. We're going to end it with Tim's perversion. if you did happen to like this wild show tonight, and we had a lot to cover, it was obviously so good. Everybody wanted to cover it, so that's awesome. All right. Yeah, let me find it. Where's my thing? Yeah, make sure. I gotta hide you, Grandma. Oh, no, that's not the way. There we go. Make sure to like and subscribe or like the video on the way out, guys. And obviously, I want to thank my wonderful moderators, Miss Catherine, Miss Sammy, and Miss Angel of Glass for always being there to make sure we're all still having fun in the chat and that we're just all having a good time. So I appreciate it. And, even for the trolls that want to come in, hey, I'm all for it, man. Gives me, fun too. I'm getting really bored of having to talk about the situation with the other guy. I'm bored. It's a tiny channel. I got way more important work to do over here. I hope Carl got that lady back her $700, and he's done nothing else except, Anyway, Miss Sammy, thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, DJ Shelly Shell and the real Melvis, and all of you for just being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope Tim's Ambien works tonight. Yeah, that girl's hoping it will work for him too. I mean, Tim wouldn't be happy knowing his letter was a waste of time. Well, I'm going to tell my attorney to ignore whatever he gets sent. Because I don't need her reading that. I mean, unless she wants to have a really good giggle. I mean, you really going to send a high-powered female attorney something that you've not signed, you've not notarized, and you put a sunglass emoji on? You are just hilarious. I laughed so hard. I was like texting Miss Vicky. Night, Miss Vicky. You too, sweetheart. And Sammy, I was like, oh my gosh, you cannot. And I sent them the picture. I was like, you've got to read this. I said, I got to get ready to go live about this. I can't believe that Tim gave me a good live stream to go on, because his videos have been like just terrible. It's the same old. And we know why it's the same old, because he writes it as ordinary and necessary expenses. All of it. He is going to make sure that new creator tax laws that they have, I'm like, oh, what? So what if I just get a car and, they have all this stuff for content creation, because, so where was the emoji? Oh, I'll show you real fast. Right here. I don't know if you can see it, but at the very end, it says Sarasota Tim, and next to it is the sunglass emoji. And that was sent to an attorney's office. That was supposedly his part where he said it was mailed to the attorney. Yeah, the very end. Oh, yeah. Oh, is he being funny? Oh, good job, Catherine. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Nice video, Ray. What happens to Carl fell off the deep end? Yeah, he did. Carl fell off a deep end. He really did. I can't rescue him from that. He got to keep, What a jerk ass. Yeah, that's hilarious. That got sent to an attorney who makes like $300 an hour. So that's her billable rate. So I'm going to get her to bill you if she reads your letter, Tim. I'm not being billed for that. And if I am, I'm going to add it to a suit for next year. Is it going to recover from how much he'll be paying life? No. I mean, I'm going to garnish his YouTube income. And he openly talked about the gold wing. So, I mean, he should have some money in that Wells Fargo account. And he definitely should, because he has an EIDL loan. So the SBA thinks that's, holding his business together. What is it? $25? Oh, to get, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Start doing lives with people who thought he could just start doing lives with people who like STE and did the work. Why would people like Sarasota Tim? The man's a con artist. If he actually took the time to use any of his investigative skills, he would have really realized this guy's a con artist. But he just started to felt like he should feel sorry for him. Why? It's just like, what an attorney, hey? I guess would you want Carl to represent you? Gosh. What I don't even know. He signs it. Sarasota Tim. Yeah. Oh, you think he found the $25 attorney? I don't even think he spent $25 on an attorney, because I spent $29 for the petty lawsuit, and it had a much better service than this. He could have spent a couple of bucks on petty lawsuit and come up with something better, but it's still not going to work. Just motion to dismiss. You need to be standing in the courtroom, Tim, and then the judge decides. If my case then had no merit, there's no mediation in Virginia. Motion to dismiss. Lord of my life. There's only one thing I can say for that one.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that. So I begged it. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Yeah, Tim tried to beg this thing out. And yeah, that's the best thing I've ever read in my life. Yeah, he's definitely doing pro se. Oh, yeah. But yeah, this pro se is not going to get you very far in court. Yeah. Even if you are pro se, you still need to follow court procedure. Carl thinks if he can quietly dismiss the case, no harm, no foul. He doesn't have to address anything regarding the ideal loans or back child. Well, I don't think it's going to be quietly dismissed. Okay, whatever. Oh, you meant Tim. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, Carl. I don't know what Carl thinks that. Oh, Tim. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just this got me shaking in my boots and just wanting to back off immediately from any further legal actions. No, Tim, I just find out more stuff that you are probably doing illegally all the time, which is why this man doesn't want to step ever into a courtroom. And he can avoid it. Don't you worry, Tim. I'll just do the default judgment. I'll make sure I have all my paperwork in order for the judge to stamp that default judgment right that day. I'll be straight over to those offices, getting every affidavit I need in order to get a writ of garnishment into the state of Florida. We'll talk about that more on a members only. He's going to have the best coffee in his life. He's going to need to have a really good cup of coffee to get himself to Virginia. All right, guys, I got to go to sleep. I got to get up in the morning. I wasn't going to work, but they didn't have a nurse for tomorrow. My colleague's been on vacation, and so I've been helping out a little bit on my, when I should, gosh, these guys, the envy is wild. And Tim's so envious that I can understand legal proceedings better than he can. Yeah, Tim, let's see. You like to downgrade anybody who has any education, especially medical professionals. You really hate medical professionals. But what you don't understand is my experience, also having been a teacher, in collecting and documenting and understanding the documentation process helps me enormously when it comes to legal matters. And your letter, sir, this letter is hilarious. I mean, I just, I have receipts. Yeah, I have receipts. And it's, now I got receipts of the court, and I have receipts of all the time Tim's harassed me. So, he really thinks this is just gone. I can't. All right, guys. I'll let you know when we go live next time. Anything else more interesting comes up. I appreciate you, Tim, for making this so fun tonight. Thanks, everybody, says Catherine. Cheers. Thanks. Po Marie. As long as it's not Pogues Mahone, I can take a Po Marie. Yeah, don't work too hard, Ray. Can't wait to hit 1 million. Yes. We're so close to 1 million views on this channel. So I certainly do appreciate it. I don't care if Carl decides to live snipe me. How many people over there watching him? 10? Night all. Yeah, night everyone. Night.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.